Tanvir, if you are facing any difficulties while understanding or any stuck point on top of concept, please you can tell me. Or if there is any stuck point or anything, please questions me on top of that one. Okay.
Yeah, sure, I will. Of course.
Okay. So today's topic. I mean, we just covered up SQL in last working day, and few of the exercise or examples are still left to be covered. I provided some of the exercises sheet over there, so some of them are covered. Some are yet to be covered, so that thing we will be doing with a brush up. S- when we'll be brushing up our SQL language again, maybe after 1 or 2 weeks, then we can quickly cover up these things as well. And some advanced level of topics will be covering on particular 1 or 2 more days. Okay, so today's topic is business intelligence. It's not very technical, but the things are conceptual. And this is the overall thing why data engineers are required. Okay, and this is not the only thing the data engineers required, but this is the main or the main important thing the data team or data engineers they're mainly working on that particular project. So, okay, one more thing I just want to know, Tanvi, do you have experience on, I mean, the data kind of jobs, or you are working in any other
Well,
field and you want to say?
no, I have experience in working with Power BI.
Okay.
I used to work as a financial analyst back in my home country,
Mm-hmm.
Bangladesh.
Mm-hmm.
And there I used to work with Power BI. I'm actually comfortable building dashboards and also some DAX. Uh, I used to work on that. So that is my level of exposure, and also some basic level of Python with scrapping and some SQL skill bits. But I watched a lot of consume lots of online resources. So on that side, like no practical experience, but I understand theoretically some bits and pieces of it. That's what I can say.
Okay, then you might have the experience. You are doing Power BI, so it's a dashboard. Dashboards are building the particular charts and graphs on top of some
Yes,
data.
yes,
Okay,
yes, yes,
so the business intelligence will help us understanding how we are preparing those data, the backend data of this Power BI dashboard. Even in
yes.
tomorrow's session, the day two of business intelligence will be covering some aspects of the visualization dashboard. I mean, I'm not talking about only one software for Power BI. Maybe if you are using ClickSense or Tableau, those are also same kind of tool,
Yes.
and they're
I
doing the
haven't
same
really
thing.
used Tableau yet, but
Yeah,
so
yeah.
my
Just have an
one
overall
question.
concept to
Yeah.
everyone. I mean, those are the same tool are being used for dashboard purpose. I mean, data visualization. Okay, let's start the topic. So, in the business intelligence, what we are doing and why it's required for. So, this is a quick example. What is BI? I mean, BI application, that is business application, business intelligence applications, and I mean, one of the more important thing, why we request this thing for each and every industry. Okay, so it's why we are telling it's a hot topic or I mean a hot subject area to get jobs and all. So what I mean, why we are doing these things? Suppose I'm owning a particular industry. Okay, I'm selling my product in various outlets for a particular country. So I'm owning a BI application too to handle my BI related matter. Now, what is BI related matter? Let's see this thing. So I am collecting all the information. I'm collecting all the data from each of the outlet. Okay, I have suppose that there's I mean three pictures are there from each of the outlets where my products are sold. Okay, so here you can see those are sales data are being collected in a single place of BI application. So source systems data. Okay, what we are collecting? I mean, what things we are collecting from the source system? Suppose when we are entering in a shopping mall, we are giving the feedback to them. We have one customer IDs tagged with us. Okay, our name can be there, our mobile number can be there, what product we have purchased, that is there, how many products I have purchased in a single bill, that is there. If I received any discount, that's the same thing is there. So this particular BI application is collecting all the information from the source system. It's I'm just collecting this information, and then I'm transferring the information to the meaningful data and storing into data warehouse. Everything is been done inside BI application, that is fine. After storing of this thing, when our meaningful data is ready at the data warehouse, on top of that, we can create KPIs which can answer me this question. So you are quite, as you are aware of the Power BI stuffs, so you are aware what is KPI. Although I'll be covering the same thing in tomorrow's session. So on top of data warehouse, we are building this kind of report. Sales in the previous quarter, revenue growth in last 5 years, best selling product in each season. So this kind of questions we can quickly get from the KPIs, maybe from the dashboards that you are bringing up. Maybe in Power BI, you have created these charts and graphs, which will be helping us answering the thing, which is not possible. If BI application is not there, from the raw data, we will be doing nothing. Okay. We need to organize the data such a way so that we can create proper cardinality, proper relationship between tables. When that is ready, we can create a beautiful data model. And on top of that, this kind of charts and graphs will be helping us with those questions. And those questions, if we receive those questions, we'll be forecasting our business. We can able to get the probability, how much, what is the feedback from the customer. Okay. If they are not satisfied, we are also getting what is the particular, we are just receiving some comments from them how to improve our business. What thing is, based on the product, if they have any recommendation of other product or maybe some negative feedback also will help us to improve the product quality. Okay. Now, suppose we got the probability that a particular customers will be leaving from our brands of product, and he or she is going to buy or purchase a different kind of competitive, product from a competitive company, not from my company. He or she is going to purchase the same thing in a different company. This kind of data I can also make it by the BI application itself. Data scientists team can do this kind of forecasting stuffs very easily on top of data warehouse. Okay. So BI application is, very, very
One
strong
question.
thing. We can forecast.
One,
Yeah, please.
one question. Is the data warehouse, is it like cloud, or what do we like? Is mentioning the data warehouse? Is it like cloud or like something else, like Azure or those sort of things?
Okay. Data warehouse means it can be a database storage. Okay. Now, if you just go ahead with the database storage, in the previous session, we have demonstrated the SQL installing MySQL database into my system. Okay, so I can create my data warehouse into my systems. So the questions you are asking, it's basically actually we are storing the data in a particular database that can be my data warehouse. Now I'm not sure in particular which location the warehouse is being stored. So nowadays, every database, every company, they are locating their data warehouses into cloud. But maybe 5 years ago, there are on-premises services. It is not cloud actually. It was maybe on-premises database servers and all. Maybe in a particular data centers in North America or any other data centers, they're locating their particular database servers, and over there I have installed my data warehouse. So Yes, your question. If you are just telling nowadays, all the companies they are moving data, their databases and all into cloud-based storage. Okay, but the concept of the thing is data warehouse we can create anywhere. Even in your systems, you can create a small data warehouse. Okay, suppose you want to learn it. So I can install. Okay, let me show you. So when we are learning the SQL stuffs, give me 1 second. Yes, when we are learning our SQL stuffs, we have installed MySQL databases in my systems. That is why we can tell my computer, my local machine is my hosting stuffs of data warehouse. Okay, so over there we have created these database schemas and we have created these tables over there. So data warehouse is nothing but collection of all the tables by which tables you can create charts and graphs in your visualization dashboard. Even from this data warehouse, data scientists can pick up those data and they can create their analytics on top of that. And those analytics might be helpful. I mean, that should be meaningful analytics. So that is why I can create data warehouse into my systems over here. Okay. But for the enterprise purpose, when a big company's IT, they're just trying to build their data warehouse. Nowadays, they are creating the data warehouse. They're taking the databases from a cloud vendor. Maybe it can be Azure, maybe it can be AWS. Maybe they're choosing a database called Redshift from AWS. Okay, so uh, that is surely been hosted in cloud. But conceptually, it's not the concept that data warehouse must be in the cloud. You can install a database software and you can also store your database warehouse over there. But over here, we are just storing the tables, maybe 10 rows, 10 records, 100 records, not more than that. But in enterprise data warehouse, an individual table, maybe the transactional table, that can be storing millions of rows records, which is not possible in your local machine because it should be taking much more sizes. And even it's, I mean, when we are working in an enterprise, the particular data has been used by various developers, various data scientists, maybe various persons or experts on top of artificial intelligence, maybe various visualization experts just like you. So you are creating charts and graphs on top of those data. So that are being used by multiple teams. So you have to host the same database into web. Otherwise, everyone cannot be using the same thing. So that is why the concept is it can be on premises or it can be cloud. So nowadays, everyone just going to be advanced on top of databases or data warehouses as well. Because if we are hosting the same thing in cloud, the main advantage will be receiving that we will be scaling the databases anytime. Means the data, I mean, those volume of data is going larger daily basis. So we can quickly, I mean, scale up our database, memory sizes. We can improve their performance quickly if we are hosting the same databases in cloud. So that is the advantage of cloud. If this is not been hosted in cloud, then some of the disadvantage should be there. So that is the exact concept. Did you get my point? Actually, I'm not sure, Tanvi.
Yes,
So
perfectly. Thank you.
conceptually, it can be hosted in cloud. It cannot be hosted in cloud. But nowadays, as everything, every applications, maybe some web application, maybe some database applications. If you are just quite aware of the cloud part, so you can have the idea they are hosting lots of databases,
Mhm.
uh, MySQL, Redshift, Postgres, Aurora, DynamoDB. So this kind of databases they're giving support. So and it's also very cheaper cost than the others and lots of advantages are there. So that is why people are moving to the cloud.
Understood.
Okay, but it can be hosted from anywhere. Just we need the database softwares to be installed into that machines or into that particular servers. Okay. So the main motto or main goal of the business intelligence that we can forecast the business. So we can have the idea what should be there in the what should be the next quarter's result, how we can achieve in the next quarter. Even suppose I am giving some example in a particular outlet, I can see there is the business is not going well by the graphs, but I'm not able to identify by checking the raw data what is the reason of doing that thing. So when I'm just checking the KPI, a particular product's selling rate as well as how much profit I'm receiving. So checking particular this KPI, I can quickly identify that a particular product it's not been sold in a particular outlet for couple of days, but I'm stocking it and suddenly maybe after 1 year or after 2 year it's made the expiry date. So the particular product was not been sold in that particular outlet, but the same product is being sold in another region of the outlet, maybe in a particular country. The particular outlet products, it's not been popular, maybe based on weather forecast or any particular thing, the product is not been sold in that outlet, but it's been sold in this outlet. So when I have the information, I can quickly switch all the products from here to here. Okay, so this kind of information we can quickly receive if we have BI application with us. Okay, so that is why we can quickly forecast, even we can quickly get the hidden trend. A particular hidden pattern or hidden data, I can quickly get from this BI application. Okay, now how will be preparing the data to data warehouse? I found someone joins. Hi, Bharti.
Hi.
But yeah, I think Bharti, you are also, doing your first class today, correct?
Yes.
Okay, today we just started a BI, business intelligence topic. So till
Mm-hmm.
the last date, we have covered the technical stuffs. It is called SQL. SQL is been used for querying on top of any kind of databases, relational
Mm-hmm.
database. So that is already
Okay.
been covered for this session. So if you
Okay.
want to start from the beginning again, then you have to wait for the next session to be started, which should be beginning of
Mm.
September or just like this. And if you want to, want to carry forward whatever will be covered, you just have a look on top of the video recordings and all. Then it should be also fine.
Oh,
So based on your
okay.
experience or your knowledge, if you are quite eager to cover these things in future, maybe this session itself you can quickly cover, but please go through the recordings from the admin teams. They will be helping us with the recordings. So
How
anytime,
Sure.
many classes were there for SQL?
sorry, Tanvir.
And how many classes were there for SQL?
For sequels, there are 5 to 6 classes. The classes is very short. 1 hour maximum. When we are solving any exercise, that can be a bit extended. But 5 to 6 days with 1 hour classes. We have covered the sequel part. Okay. So it's totally your choices. I'm just going forward this BI cycle. BI is the overall thing. I'm sure that this will not be a stuck point while learning. You did not learn SQL, or if you have basic knowledge in SQL, that should be, you can correlate the things quickly. But you can also, you can independently learn this BI. And as well as parallelly, you can check those recordings. Then your concept should be also clear with the basic of databases, relational database, and how SQL works. Okay. Okay. So you have started BI, that is business intelligence. 1 or 2 slides I have just covered what is the requirement of BI in a particular organizations and all. So this is a particular, this thing is called BI cycle. As I mentioned, in the previous slide. So we are collecting all the raw data from different outlets of here. So maybe when if you are also just going to the shopping mall, we are entering the data, maybe particular software. Okay. So the software can be a web platform or can be a simply a app used by that particular company. Okay, we are just entering the data and submit, clicking on submit button. When we are clicking the submit button, the data are being submitted to a particular server. It can be a database server, obviously. So that can be stored in the database servers as a raw format, raw data. Okay, so that data storage is called OLTP system. It's the source data we are receiving. A similar kind of stuff. Suppose we are booking some ticket from a railway reservation counter. Okay, if you can check their systems, they are having black screen. They're using mainframe systems. Okay, they're entering our information and booking our tickets. So as soon as they are putting the submit button, all the informations are being saved in a particular. They're transferring the information from mainframe systems, mainframe to particular OLTP database. Okay, so the data are coming here. Now the business intelligence, thing should be starting from here. Till that storage part, it's not the work of BIT. Okay, so maybe SAP is there. SAP expert are there. They are mapping the data from source system to OLTP. After that, when they are storing the information in OLTP, the particular activity or scope of work of the BI team should be starting from here. They will be loading the data from the source system to data warehouse by ETL tool. ETLs are jobs. So daily basis we are receiving the data and those data got refreshed in the data warehouse tables. Okay, so it's a dynamic thing. Suppose today we received more than 10,000 booking, railway booking for a particular counter. So at the end of the business day, my ETL jobs, those are running and those are refreshing the data warehouse. Whatever data I have there till last working day, I'm just going to update or insert the new records coming from OLTP systems and updating our data warehouse informations. Okay, so when our data warehouse is ready, then just I told you, Tanvir, that you are also having that knowledge. The reporting tool, those are creating those charts and graphs on top of data warehouse. Okay, so and after that, the business owners can take a look how the business are going over there on top of those charts and graphs. If they want to make any changes of the strategy, then they're quickly changing the same thing. They're imposing some rule on top of maybe on reservation systems, maybe on top of a particular product. They're checking some issue of selling a particular product. So I'm losing some products delivery and or just like this. Then I just made a strategy that I am discounting that. Giving some discounts on that on top of that product. So this is the strategy I'm giving over here, so that I can change the OLTP the data in the OLTP systems. So business owner are checking the KPIs, okay, checking the particular graphs and charts, and on the very next day or maybe in the very next quarter, they are changing their strategy. As soon as they are changing their strategy, the new strategical data should be coming in the OLTP systems, and the same kind of thing I can report in my reporting layer. Okay, so this is a cycle going over here. It's called BI cycle. Okay, so over here, the data engineers can work maybe in ETL tool. They're working on data. They're loading the data into data warehouse with various logics and all, some design method in the ETL tools as well. And Maybe data engineers are also working in a reporting engineers or visualization engineers as well. They are creating suitable charts and graphs for each of the KPIs on top of data warehouse. Okay. So this can be also a job for data engineers. We can work maybe in ETL part, we can work in reporting layer. The data scientists, they can directly take the data from data warehouse and they can also create suitable formula or analytics function so that that can also help us understanding various predictions, forecasting of business. Okay. The things are understandable, Tanvi?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Moving to the
Thanks.
next slide. Now some terminologies are here. I haven't mentioned the OLAP things. OLAP should be over here. So maybe in Power BI reporting. Okay, I'm not coming to this topic now. I'll be just covering this thing. OLTP versus OLAP. What is the difference between OLTP and OLAP? These kind of questions are also coming as a theoretical thing from the interviewer. So OLTP, as I mentioned, is the source data, what we are collecting from the source systems. It's called online transaction processing. Whatever transaction is been done from the source system, that is been stored in OLTP databases. Just a quick example, bank transactions, sale transaction in a retail store, railway booking or cancellation. So all this kind of transaction related information is quickly stored in a particular database that is called OLTP. Even this is the source database for the data engineers as well. Okay. And the next thing is OLAP. It's called Online Analytical Processing Systems. So you are quite aware. Now I'm repeating these things. So when you are picking up the data from data warehouse, maybe from Power BI dashboards, so you are getting all the things, all the columns, all the tables that are being required are being joined to create a single table over there. Okay, where all the columns are there and that is been feed in a particular reporting tool. It's been done in Tableau ClickSense. I think the same thing can be done for Power BI as well. So this particular storage is called online analytical processing because our data is ready to be processed now for analytical purpose. Okay, so especially it we can tell this thing as the end of data warehouse. In the data warehouse, we are creating the tables. After that, when we are preparing those data ready for the reporting tool or reporting layer, we are merging all the tables, we are joining all the tables, and we are creating a intermediate view where all the particular columns are present for the tables. Because when we are creating the reporting layer, we need all the charts. All the charts should be get the access for all the columns available at the data warehouse. Okay, so that time the system is called OLAP, Online Analytical Processing Systems. Okay, that will be analyzing the information. Okay, so this is the difference between OLTP and OLAP. So when our OLAP is ready, yeah, this is one more thing. I already mentioned this thing earlier, decision support system, DSS. So they can be from the business side. So they can help with answering their questions, this kind of questions. What is the sales distribution region wise? How did my revenue improve in last 5 years? So this kind of questions they can quickly ask themselves and that can be also been answered by the charts and graphs itself. That's why the decision support system is just nothing but they're taking the decisions, the particular people, they're taking the decisions uh, based on the next strategy or what should be their strategy or whatever the ongoing strategy it should be there or how to improve the same thing. They're checking the graphs and taking the decisions to get the answer solved by their side. Okay. This is another TSS. They can be, I mean, they're doing the MBAs and all, and they're quite near to the business teams. They're consulting with the business and they're taking the strategy. So this is also one of the teams who are from, basically they're from business side, but just to mention, this is a different team to check it. Okay, here is the visualization of the thing. I have incorporated some of the charts and graphs at the below. Wow, I mean that the same thing has been created from this particular data. So that's, I just want to demonstrate it over here. When our data warehouse is ready, OLAP is ready. This can be a OLAP data. On top of this OLAP data, those kind of charts and graphs can be quickly created. These can be created of different tools. I hope this is ClickView tools. Okay. So as Tanvir, you have the experience of Power BI, so you are quite aware. So this kind of charts and graphs can also create on OLAP
Yes.
systems. Okay, and the same thing is been provided or handed over to the decision owner to I mean show them the business strategy, how they can take the strategy for the very next step. Now the concept of data warehouse. It can also clear your questions, what you are asking. So we are not telling where the data warehouse is being hosted. So your question is basically where the data warehouse can be hosted. But the functional thing is this, how the data warehouse should be working. So this is the source system I just mentioned, operational database, that is OLTP. The data can be inputted in various ways. Maybe some data entry operators are there. Maybe a different, I just mentioned mainframe systems are there. Maybe SAP is there. They are importing the data into data, I mean, this kind of databases, no OLTP. Now, extract data, I mean, ETL tool will be, ETL tool, we can design the ETL tool. The data engineers can design the ETL tool and they can refresh the data from the source system to here. Okay. Then reporting thing should be there on top of data warehouse. Then manager can see the reports. So this is the overall flowchart. I'll be just going to this flowchart to clear your concept from source to target. Because when you are working with a bit, experience, when you are just, after maybe you are working in Power BI now, after that, maybe after some years you wanted to be a data architect. Then you need to assemble all the systems. That's why you need to know how the things are working from the source to target. Maybe when we are joining at the beginning of a company, we just have a basic idea of a few things. Maybe only a particular part of this data warehouse we know. But what are the functionality for all the tables of data warehouse? We need to know that thing as well. So the overall thing is this. Lots of tables have been stored in data warehouses that have been sent to the reporting team, visualization team. Okay. So how we get creating the data into data warehouse, that should be a main motto to learn. Today we'll be giving you some concept gradually. So okay, now the topic I just want to mention of what is data warehouse and how we are storing the data. Those are the topic. Headline you are quickly understanding the thing. So based on a particular subject areas, we are creating the data warehouse. The data warehouse must be integrated in nature, time variant. Time variant means it is also storing the historical information. So maybe 1 years back, we stored some information in data warehouse. Okay. And we can retrieve the same information today as well. We are storing the historical information in the data warehouses because we need to focus the business only seeing the past. So I just want to check how we have a quick growth, or if we are just creating a line chart, we can check the slope. We can identify what is the slope for last 2 quarters. business increase or revenue increase. Okay, what particular strategy I have taken into previous quarters, I mean last year's first quarter, because I just found last year's first quarter is the highest slope in the last 2 years business. So I can check the history, what kind of things I have undertaken at that time. So I can take the same kind of strategy. Okay. So this kind of thing can be helpful. I just told some, I mean, procedure to do that, but I just want to say that time variant will be helping us to check the historical information, and it's not been erased. So non-volatile data warehouse are, I mean, those are very important data are being stored over there, and that cannot be erased. So it's non-volatile in nature. So that is one of the reason I mean, nowadays people are hosting the thing in clouds, the data warehouse in clouds. So clouds, maybe 5 years or 10 years ago, we found this kind of issues. So we are using some on-premises service, servers. Over there, database are installed. So some days, suppose the on-premises servers are not working, or due to some disaster, there is power of issue in a particular data center, and we are not able to access the data warehouse. Okay, but now people are moving that particular data warehouses into clouds. So if you know the architectures of clouds, they're storing the data into particular databases, but the same thing is being distributed into various region. So cloud is nothing but it's also been hosted in some data centers, but it's not only one data centers. Suppose I'm storing my data maybe primarily in North America into some region, and the same kind of copy is being stored in my eastern region, maybe somewhere in APAC countries, Asia Pacific countries. So this kind of thing can be easily, I mean, uh, if any disaster happened for a particular data center, I can quickly take it from another data center. So this is the concept of cloud. So that is why it can be helping us with non-volatile data warehouse in nature. But just to mention, a good data warehouse should be having these qualities. Okay. So here is another. I'm just going to depth of this data warehouse with a different architectural diagram. And at the beginning, we are telling that we are just storing the data from the source system to target with a single ETL tool. But this is not the scenario actually. In between OLTP system and data warehouse, there can be various layers. Okay. The first layer is called staging area. This is our source system. Various source systems are there. Maybe I'm working in a banking system. So I just want to mention the banking related, credit related information or credit card related information I'm receiving from a different source systems. Debit, banking, debit and credit card related information, credit information is receiving from a different systems. Maybe all the offers, just, house loans kind of things, any personal kind of things that's coming from a different source systems. All the things I'm bringing up into a single staging area by a ETL tool. Okay, stage area means we are doing nothing, no data manipulation on top of this data. We're simply extracting the data and storing it over here. Now, from stage area to data warehouse, we are not loading this thing one to one because we have to do this kind of operation called cleansing. We have to clean data. There's lots of unclean data are coming from the source system. But to store the data, the same thing, to prepare the same data ready for analytics purpose, we have to clean the data properly. Okay, so, one more concept actually. So when you are just creating Power BI dashboards, from the source system, there are lots of tables are available. But when you are creating the particular dashboards, you are getting few tables. There can be some fact tables, there can be dimensions table. Maybe fact table called transaction, maybe billing information, this kind of thing. and maybe lots of dimensions are there, maybe employee related dimension, product related dimensions are there. So those kind of fact and dimensions are also been created in data warehouses. Okay, but before that, I need to clean the data, I need to transform the data, I need to impose some aggregation summarization on top of data, and all those kind of things I need to push it to data warehouses.
So we are cleaning those data on the BI tools, and then
Correct.
we are also cleaning or transforming those data on a cloud or like our storage as well, or just on the BI tool. Like in warehouse, we are also cleaning those data on the warehouse architecture, but or just we are cleaning or transforming those data in the BI tools.
Actually, BI tools, data warehouse is inside the BI tools itself. Okay.
Okay.
So BI tools means, I think you are telling over here the ETL tools, those blue
Yes, yes,
color
yes.
arrow.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
So BI tool means the particular tools are being used for entire BI application, business intelligence.
Okay.
In
Okay.
the BI tools, Tableau or Power BI is also a BI tool. Especially, it's a visualization tool, but it should be coming under business intelligence itself. Data warehouse should be also coming inside BI. But over here,
Okay.
you are mentioning this ETL. ETL will
Mhm.
be doing this cleansing operation. So maybe some source systems we are getting the date format in a different way. Maybe it's DDMMYYYY, and maybe another source systems I'm receiving the date in another format. Maybe month, date, year. Okay. But when you are getting the data from the data warehouse, you are receiving the date in a single format. If you can quickly remember, especially you are not finding the date with a different format when the data is ready for you in a visualization tool. So how we are doing this thing, that is been done this kind of transformation, and that is been done by ETL tool, extract transform load. ETL means extract transform load. Those blue colors of arrow are the jobs, ETL jobs. Those are cleaning the data. There are lots of wrong data are coming, duplicate informations are coming from the source systems. They are not filling their name properly. Maybe they put some keywords. Suppose sometimes as well, they are putting some comment box, how we can improve our business. So some people are just giving some garbage values. Even sometimes us also, if we are in a hurry, we have to submit a form. We're just putting NA, means not applicable. We are not giving proper feedback to there, and we are giving some garbage keywords as well. Not only NA, we are just giving some ABCD or just like this. Do you have this experience, Tanvir? So you're going just this way, correct? So this kind of data we need to
Yes,
clean.
yes,
So we need
yes,
to identify the data, we need to clean it properly. Maybe all the garbage
yes.
value, we are just putting a single thing that not applicable. If we are getting any garbage value, the sentence are incomplete or anything, or maybe on top of this sentence, we are able to understand, we are just creating a machine learning on top of data warehouse that it can check the word or inside that sentence, and based on that they can understand the satisfactory index of that particular customer. They are giving some star rating, but they're using some false language in the comment box, okay, which is not good. So machine learning can quickly understand those words, will be, I mean, learns the particular machine for that words, and they can quickly identify what is the internal customer's feeling for that product. Okay, so this kind of thing, it's, I mean, higher level of tough, I mean, topics I'm not going to cover, but I'm just going to cover. We can cleanse the operation based on the data. We can transform it. As I mentioned, different kind of date format is there, but we need to store the date in a single format. So that is why transformation is working. We need to transform the date Next, we need to aggregate the data. Suppose I need to store the particular thing based on entire customer billing. So from the OLTP systems, suppose a customer is there, I'm going to bill each of the individual product. Okay. Suppose I just bought maybe toothpaste, maybe bought some umbrellas, one umbrella, maybe bought some food. So these three types of things I just bought from the outlet. So from the OLTP systems, there are three lines according to my name based on three products. But the data warehouse just want, as per the business requirement, data warehouse wants, I do not need three products for a single customer for a single day's transaction. For a single billing, they just need a single line in a table and consolidating the summation of the purchasing product value. Okay, so they don't want a single, they don't want multiple lines for a single billing. I'm doing everything in a single bill. So they want a particular information, a particular value in a single bill. So one bill versus one, quantity. I mean, how much I'm paying for it. Okay, so that is why we are doing some aggregation function before storing the same thing to data warehouse. So this kind of aggregation functions I need to impose while doing some transformation over there and storing the same thing in data warehouse. Okay, over here it's a new topic called ODS. It's also been used for some of the projects. Most of the projects they're using data warehouse. Even the new things are called data marts. Data marts are nothing but it's a subset of data warehouse. Okay, so maybe it's collection of lots of tables. Data mart we can, just we can segregate each of the tables. We can tell one data mart. Okay, so specifically we can take the data from data warehouse or data mart or ODS for reporting purpose or for OLAP analysis. You can see we can take data from anywhere based on the project requirement. They can take ODS. Maybe my architect told me to take data from ODS. ODS is for live data. Data warehouse is not exactly live data. Maybe data warehouse is been refreshing daily basis. So today's end of the business, at the non-business hours, we are refreshing the data warehouse. And as soon as the data warehouse data is being refreshed, my Tableau dashboard or my Power BI dashboard needs to be refreshed as well, so that it can take the updated data from the data warehouse. The similar kind of stuffs in top of data marts as well. I mean, the concept of these three things are same. Data marts are just like a subset of data warehouses, nothing but the thing. Nothing, a different one. And ODS is operational data store. Let me just give some example what is ODS and all. Okay. Operational data store, I just told it's a real-time data. Just like data warehouse, it's refreshed daily basis and I need to refresh the Tableau dashboard daily basis. But suppose I need a quick chart. Okay, the chart should be refreshed or it can be containing the real-time information. So as soon as the new data comes to the data warehouse, I need to refresh the charts as well. And whatever the source information I'm receiving from the source system, my data should be refreshed quickly at the same time. So that is being done by ODS, operational data store. Okay. So ODS is a data store used to analyze real-time data. Real-time means as when things are happening. It can be done by solving day-to-day problems, quickly. So data warehouse, we are just reflecting the data, whatever has been done in the previous day. The very next day, business can see the data of the previous days. Okay, but operational data store, it's a bit critical. Maybe a critical scenario is this. We just go ahead to the real-time information. That's why ODS is being used storing real-time data. And what is data mart? Data mart, I just mentioned, it's nothing but a miniature of data warehouse. Just a quick example. Suppose I'm just from a particular, okay, a data warehouse contains data from multiple subject areas in a particular organization. Data mart is a simple form of data warehouse that is focused on a single subject area or functional area. So suppose in my data warehouse, I have various of tables called sales, finance, or for marketing. Different tables are being stored in data warehouse. If you're focusing on data marts, that is nothing but the concepts. A data mart can be created on top of only sales subject area or maybe on finance. Maybe some group of tables which are representing the sales information. So data mart is this. Just its subset of data warehouse. Okay. Okay. So I'm giving some informations over here. So I'm receiving the OLTP transactional information from the source system from particular insurance company. Okay. But the insurance company is having separate maybe that insurance company is giving us the coverage based on property. We have some of the customers or some of the customers, they're taking help of this insurance company for automobile insurance, just like our car insurance or maybe our bike insurance. Okay. And we have commercial insurance as well. So these three kind of insurance, but the particular project end team or business owners, they want to create different charts or different dashboard for each of the subject area. So that is why they want to store the information, not only a single data mart or not only a single data warehouse, rather they want to keep the data in this way. They want to store the data in separate data marts, and each of the data marts will be responsible for each of the reporting part. Okay. So this is the idea. Actually, the things is been determined the architecture who is having a bit large experience or vast experience on top of different architectures, and they're taking what the project cost for creating the data mart or how much sizes should be there for each data mart, or maybe some security implementation should be there. The particular manager who is owning the automobile data mart, they should be restricted from the property data mart data. So that is why we are creating separate dashboard which are taking data from separate data mart. Okay. So based on security policy for each of the company, they can also create or segregate this kind of data mart and this kind of different dashboards. Okay. You think things are understandable, Tanvi?
Yes, it's understandable.
Okay. It should hardly take some more minutes. Let me check. Okay. Yeah, it should not take much more time. Yeah. We're almost nearing the end of the session. Okay. So when we are storing the data into data warehouse, you might be aware of this thing as you are quite experienced, but who are quite new of this topic, they are not aware of what is fact. So when storing the data into data warehouse by the ETL tool, we need to know there are two kinds of tables called fact tables and another table called dimension table. So what kind of informations are being stored in fact table? So in the fact table, we are storing fact related information. Okay, fact answer me the questions how much, how many. So on top of data which we are collecting, okay, so which we are collecting the same data on top of the data. If we are questioning that how much or how many, so how much revenue I have earned. Okay, so this much, the particular question whose answer is numerical in nature. Basically, those are fact. Okay, it's also called measures. The examples of facts are revenue, cost, number of accounts. Everything's are called fact. And if those facts are being stored in fact table. So I just put some examples of the fact tables. One is sales, Another one is billing. So sales tables are storing sales related information. Over here, you can see the red color highlighted columns are called fact columns. That is sales, quantity sold, price, discount. Those are fact data. Apart from that, we are having some keys. Those are called date key, store key, product key. Okay. So fact table should be consisting fact information as well as the keys. Especially those are foreign keys. What are foreign keys and primary keys? Those have been discussed in the introductory part of the relational database. So please go through once the concept of foreign keys.
Yes, I have idea.
Okay, you have the experience. Okay, no issue there. So foreign keys are those are the primary keys from another table. Especially those are dimension table. I'll be just quickly coming to this. So you can see there are date key, store key, product key. So product key should be a primary key from product table, which is a dimension table. Store key is a primary key of a store related dimension. I'll be coming to the dimensions of same kind of dimensions quickly and show you how the dimension tables look like. But just to let you know, fact table should be consisting of this kind of information. It should be consisting all the fact related information, and as we are maintaining the relational database, we need to set up relationship between fact and dimension to create a data modeling. So that is why the foreign key should be also there in the fact table. In the billing table also the same thing. The black color highlighted are called keys element. Those are the foreign key, and the red color highlighted are called fact data. Just remember those column name, and I'm coming to the next topic for dimension. Dimensions are the particular data which we can get when we are questioning who, what, when, where, this kind of thing. So just example, just when we are giving the example, dimensions are nothing but this kind of data: customer, geography, time, employee, product. So this kind of informations are called dimensions. Okay. So those are dimension table. Just like I mentioned, store table. In a store table, it's storing all the store related information. I should be giving some store key. This is the primary key for the store table. And in the fact table, we can see the same key was present there, and it was working as a foreign key there. Similar kind of thing of a product key. Product key is the primary key. There are other things as well: product ID, product name, product group, which brand is this for this product, particular department. So all the product related informations are kept in dimension table, and there should be a primary key present over here. The same primary key should be present in the fact table as a foreign key, so that we can create the data model by joining between fact table and dimension table. Yeah, these are the total concept I'm giving. Tomorrow onwards, tomorrow we'll be just going how the data models have been created on top of fact and dimension. Okay, so data models, when the data models have been created, then it's ready to use for reporting layer. You already have a bit experience, experience on top of that, not a bit. You have quite experience on top of that, how the visualization things are there. But we'll be just covering few more terminologies on top of the visualization tools as well, and some basic things on top of ETL tool as well. So those things will be covering in tomorrow's session. So that's all for today's session.
Okay, and so I should be contacting them for the SQL videos, right?
Yeah. Contact them for SQL videos, especially Upendra. He's storing the thing. Even as today, I'll be just going to stop this recording. Then a particular recording thing should be, it should be stored into my OneDrive. I'll be handing over this maybe after 1 hour or 2 hour for this recording. So this is the usual process. I stopped recording, and this will take some time and stored into my OneDrive. I just hand over the same thing to Upendra, and Upendra will save the same thing to YouTube channel. Okay.
দাদা আপনি কি বাঙালি?
হ্যাঁ
Oh,
হ্যাঁ
oh,
আমি
sorry.
বাঙালি। আচ্ছা আমি এটা স্টপ করে দিচ্ছি এটা 1 সেকেন্ড।
জি জি, ওকে জি।